Change. Change is a huge component to be successful in today's day and age. Think about it. The world we live in is ever evolving, ever changing. And if you refuse to adapt to that change, you're going to be left in the past. 50 years ago, the technology we have, the computers we have, the smartphones we have, and even the music we have is a reaction to change. Changing the times, changing the culture, just changing the ideals that we live by. So many people are afraid of change. They're afraid to step out of their comfort zone. They're afraid to live life differently. But by living life differently, you can accomplish things that you never thought you could accomplish. Have any of you ever had a goal that you thought you were on the right track, you thought you were doing everything right, but in the end you're walking in a circle? Sometimes you need to just look at that goal, reevaluate all your steps. Maybe it's just one little thing you're doing wrong, or maybe you have to restart the whole thing. But to get to that goal, you got to understand that. And you got to change something about how you're going about it in order to get there. There's that old saying, to get something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. And that's 100% true. Because if we were trying to get all the goals, accomplish all the goals we have by doing what we do daily without changing anything about it, we would have accomplished them. In order to get everything you want in life, you have to step out of that comfort zone. You have to react to the world that's changing around you and change yourself with it. Whether it be understanding your fears, understanding your weaknesses, or just changing one thing about your daily life. Give more compliments. Say hello to strangers more. Be more friendly. You never know the connections you can build by just changing a little aspect of what you do. Change is a beautiful thing in the long run, because so many of us, as much as you might be afraid of change, you need it. You know why? Because by being afraid of change, you're being afraid of what life can bring you, whether it's good or it's widely amazing. Think about it. Just one change by going to the gym can put you in the best physical condition of your life. Just one change by accepting that job that you weren't sure of can bring you money like you've never imagined. And you can meet people that can elevate you to new levels. But you got to step out of that comfort zone. You got to accept change. Nothing in life is permanent. That's the thing. You can always go back and reevaluate and change what you're doing to reach something else. And I don't think a lot of people realize that, because they are too afraid that once they make that mistake is finalized. And where in some aspects it might be. But that mistake doesn't have to define what you do in the future. We all make mistakes. We're all human. But overcoming those mistakes, changing how you went about it, and changing and growing is a key aspect to being successful. Think about it. If you were to take a test on a subject today that you didn't know anything about, you'd fail. But if you went and you learned and you changed the way your brain thought of the information that you learned, how your brain just kind of analyzed it, you can pass that test. By taking that class, you already changed your actions. One of my best examples is video games. Think about it. If you're facing a boss that you can't beat, and you keep going about the boss the same exact way, do you get frustrated? I know I used to, but sometimes you gotta realize that you're facing the same exact way each time, so you're gonna get the same exact result. And you need to go in there and fight that battle differently than you fought it. You need to change how you're doing things, and you know what? About 95% of the time, you'll be able to overcome that boss on the first try if you just realize what you were doing wrong instead of going in there and trying to fight the same battle. It's like I mentioned earlier. If you continue doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result. That's why change is important. Where it might be a fear for some of us, I used to hate change. But you got to learn to accept change, because change is inevitable. Whether you want it to happen or not, it's going to happen. So why try to fight it? Go along with it. Adapt to it. And it'll help you grow. That's change.